Okay, people, we are back. We are back with our weekly and daily forex forecast and market forecast. Okay, I've been out for a minute. I had to take a break from making videos because I had some stuff to attend to. I don't do this full time. I do this part time. And the good news I'm gonna break out today is you gotta stay tuned to the last analysis. Stay tuned to the last analysis because I am back trading gold. Yes, I'm back. I realized a couple of years ago when I was trading gold, I wasn't really experienced in my analysis and how price moves and all of that, and I wasn't even using volume profile. Then I realized, you know what? Instead of trading all these pairs that are very confusing sometimes, why don't I try it on gold? You know, for the past 2 weeks, I have been trading gold, and it's been amazing. I didn't know I could do it anymore, and I think sometimes it's good to step back and reanalyze everything and see what you're good at. And I think any trader can trade gold if you know what you're doing, if you know how to cut your losses quick and take profits quick. You have to be a scalper trading gold, right? So I'm a scalper, a day trader, and a scalper as well. And I've been scalping gold for 2 weeks now, as I said, and it's been amazing. So today we're gonna do a gold analysis. So stay tuned, okay? Okay. But before that, let's go right down to start with the pound USD. All right, we're gonna start with pound USD today. 10 minutes time frame. No, let's start from the top down analysis. 4 hour is where I start from, and we all know what's happening in the 4 hour. The dollar is high, is getting ripped up, and the pound is just fucking dying. Like you can see that. Like it's being molested by the dollar right now, but it's okay. It's all right. That one trend line. I don't trade trend lines either, but we can clearly see the price is hitting this trend line all the way down. Supply zones are very far away. But for now, what I can give you is this support turn resistance located at 132.25. Okay. So we have that. All right. We have that support there, turn resistance, which for the time being we can look at. All right. We can look at this and take trades from this. So my strategy is basically volume profile, demand and supply, and some price action. What would I say? Analysis and all that. Okay. So there we go. And now we have this area here at 129.50, which could be a little bit of a bounce on it because it was a previous resistance that got broken. And I think price already mitigated towards that area. If you look at this, price is coming towards it and there was a bounce on it. This is on the 4 hour, okay, guys? So basically, I keep it short today. I'm going to give you the buy zones and the sell zones on the pound and everything I give you today, just the buy and sell zones that I am looking at in conjunction with volume profile and demand and supply. I won't go too deep because the market don't really respect people like that, okay? So 4 hour downtrend. And on the 30 minutes, what I see here is that we had a move on Friday. It was a very positive move. This demand area here, or should I say support area here as well. Price came down to it. I think we had a dump there before and price reacted from that. And on Friday, what you can see here is a very big candle, which is like an acceptance. This candle here wasn't killed back on Friday, which tells you there was a possibility a retracement towards VWAP here at 130 130-ish, 130.08 is VWAP is just sitting there. Right now, price is at 130.99. So now, what am I seeing here? I see a possible move like this, okay? A possible move to this area towards VWAP here. But as long as we stay above this candle, you see this big buy candle here. As long as we stay above this candle, it's a good sign for this pair to go up, all right? Just a little bit more. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a sell-off, maybe retracement towards VWAP to retest this candle, all right? Then price might just go from there to this zone here, which I'm going to mark right now, which is at 131. If you look at this here, that we have resistance to struggling there. And in this area, if I mark it up for you to see, we have a high concentration of orders right here on at one it's called high volume note at 131.42. So a retracement towards this area is a good thing. And I want to say if price breaks above 131.08, then there's a possibility for us to retest 131.50, okay, or 131.45. So mark my zones. There we go. So as long as price stays above 130 66 as we open on Monday or Sunday. I want to see London push this price towards this zone here for sales, where you can look for sales. I don't think shorting where we are right now is a good idea. Right now, look for buys for the pound for the next few sessions. I want to see price come down a little bit from here. Then we'll take it from there. Okay, I'll keep this as short as possible. Um, Support located down here at 130.20, and we have another support area here at 130.65. And I have a sell zone area at 130, 136, or 130, 150. That's where you can look for sales with a high probability that you can make some pips. Okay, I will not be going deep into the pound right now because I will not be trading the pound in the coming session. I am going to be focusing on trading my gold this coming week, all right, and the coming months maybe, until I say, okay, gold is making me feel bad right now, but I think it's not. All right, I took some good trades and made a lot of money with gold the past 2 weeks, and I took some losses too. Okay, yes, I did take some losses, but I want to say my gains were more than my losses. That's a good thing, right? So I made more profits than I lost my money on gold. And gold, if you don't have like um you cannot watch the charts for too long. Gold is a pair to trade, right? Gold is where you want to trade most of your pairs, or do your trading on gold. But I'm not saying get into gold right now because it's a very high risk. It's a high risk pair to trade, right? And I don't want you to get into that. So picture perfect. We have a little bit of a sell off on Monday and buy up, and this is the area where I'm looking to take my shorts. All right, with a high probability that we could have a drop from there. Why am I taking this like this? Price could still just get up and go up here. If price does that, then this makes this area a perfect zone for sales. Another reason, as I said, there was a big rejection on Friday. This candle was too big to ignore. When you see a big buy candle like this, a big buy candle like this is a telltale sign there is someone interested in higher prices with the pound. All right, so you wouldn't want to go and play against a big guy like this. If you come or towards 130.66, where I'm hoping that we could get a buy up to this area where we can take sales from there. Okay, that's all I have for the pound. Okay, we're gonna go straight to the US dollar. So this is the pound JPY as well. A lot of people are complaining about this pair. I haven't traded this pair for almost 2 weeks. It doesn't matter all this upper trends I'm seeing, all this buys, but it's a very high risk pair right now. Anybody who trades this will tell you that. On the 4 hour, we have a good climb on the 4 hour here. Okay, it's a good climb, but if you look at this is a very choppy, right? You see all this choppiness. It's not good to trade when you see all this choppiness. We're on an uptrend, that's true, but it is too choppy. Why do I say choppy? Look at this. There is no clear trend. Even the trend is clear, but all of this, I call it zigzag. It's not really good for day traders. Unless you're an investor, then um, you buy and hold pound and stuff like, or the pound or the JPY against the pound, then you can trade this and say, I'm trading this. But this is very, very not a healthy pair to trade right now. I will tell you that, okay? But still, on the 4 hour, I don't see demand zones. What I see is clusters, and volume clusters can give me a direction for the next trend. So the first volume cluster is right here, where if price returns to this cluster here, you could look for buys and catch some pips. All right, that's 123. That's 203, 18. All right, this is a good cluster. Another reason why it's a good cluster, we had a sell-off from here. Okay, we had a sell-off. Price regained this area. So we had a sell-off below this. If you look at this, this was a drop, like a drop and like a basing candle and a drop. Then we regained it. So this area automatically acts as support, which now tells me if price is to come back to this zone here, if price is to come back to this zone or this area, I might look for a potential buy like that. Okay, I might look for potential buy in this area, hoping that the price reverses even is 30 pips or 40 pips up. All right, so as I tell you guys, I don't trade and hold pairs when it's very unstable like this. I don't trade and hold it for too long. All right, because you see the zigzag movements is not healthy at all. So we have the support area here, where price can retrace to, and now we have a supply here at 126.86. Okay, I put that there. I always draw zones. There is no specific area where price can retrace from or retrace to, but I want to put that there for us to see. And I put that on the 4 minutes. On the daily, you can see that price actually came out here and rejected. Okay, so now price is trying to retrace from this sell-off. Let's see how that goes on a 1 hour. Let's see. On Friday was a zigzag movement as well, rejection and fall off, rejection and fall off. But now price closed below VWAP. Okay, when price closes below VWAP, I always consider that a bias towards the downside or to sell off side. On the 30 minutes, we have a close below VWAP. VWAP is right here at 205.22. Price currently is at 204.87. And there's a constant rejection of the POC, point of control, on Friday, which is right here at 205.08. Price kept going back and forth and rejecting. And we have this VWAP right here, where price is currently rejecting right now. So if you mark up your VWAP, even if price is to retrace here on Monday or Sunday and come towards 205.38, I will still take a short there because it is above, it could go above VWAP just to grab liquidity, then fall down. Okay, 1 second. Okay, that being said, excuse me, guys. That being said, technically, all I see for the pound here, pound JPY, is maybe the first position that will take is a retracement towards VWAP again, maybe to a little bit of that bullshit and falls off. Okay, I'm looking for sales to this pair, and I had some news that said the Japanese Prime Minister invested some money back in the Japanese economy, which could lead this pair to dump when market opens on Monday or on Sunday. So we might just have this dump happen immediately the market opens, but I'm not very sure. No one can tell that. So supply buys. To take a quick trade on the 30 minutes, you want to wait for a retracement towards the zone, towards VWAP at 125, sorry, 205.40-ish. Then you take your sales from there towards the previous low, which could be at 204.35, which is right here. Or you want to hold it longer, you can bring it all the way to 202 or 203, down this area where you can get a good money in your pockets. Okay, guys. So US dollar, sorry, this is a Japanese yen, pound, picture perfect, not much to see, just too much zigzag, too much inaccuracies in the market, making it scary for even traders to trade. If it's not perfect for you to trade, don't trade it. But this is all what I see on this pair right now. Okay, we're gonna move on to the US dollar Japanese yen is another pair. This is something which is even better to trade. On a 4 hour, as the US dollar is strong, if you can look at this, you'll realize that these candles tell you a story. These are buyers, right? These are people interested in buying this pair against buying the US dollar against the yen, because this picture perfect move up, right? You see this candles. I think there's a word for this. I don't know how other people who trade candles who can tell you what this is, but still, yeah, the candles are getting chopped off. The buyers, the sellers have stepped in and they have taken almost half of that candle, which tells me we're coming down again. Because if you had all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves all the way up, consolidation up here in this area, and price starts moving downwards, that should tell you that price is going to retrace and get more buyers in this area, which is a 155.73. I think the last week it was previous support, I think resistance, I think was the previous resistance that got broken. And another reason why I'm looking at this pair, and I know for sure there's gonna be a dump in this pair, is that if you look here, 1 second there, guys. If you look here, you realize that we have another high volume note at 155.43, which I can technically look for buys in that area. If you look at this, I'll look for buys in this area. If I was to trade this pair, I wait for price to retrace to this position, and I'll take my buys from there. Okay. Now, as I said, there's intervention in the Japanese yen, not in the yen, but in the Japanese economy. So it could be a good thing for the Japanese yen. It could be maybe not a good thing. I'm not very sure. But this area here, this zone here, is a good buy zone for this pair, and also a demand zone on the 4 hour and the 30 minutes. It's a demand zone sitting right there. Okay. That's the first demand zone. And as I said, price also closed below VWAP. VWAP is sitting right here at 136.82 and price closed below it. All right. So if we open on Sunday and price retraces towards VWAP right here, I'll take sales targeting the previous low again. So basically this, I will take sales here on this area here because it is the VWAP area and catch some pips to the downside. And with that being said, I will not be shorting this pair in this area. I will short it right here. And I will not be buying this pair in this area. I'll buy it right here. That's where my risky reward is telling me you can have a potential of a bounce in those zones. All right. So right now, I'm pretty sure on the daily here, Support resistance, we still have a lot. We have a lot of sell area here. The price came over and sold from. So now I have a resistance zone created, and I'm guessing supply is all the way up here. I don't know what year this was, July 2024. We had this move all the way up this way, but let's see how it goes. If you can see here, the price came here before and sold off all the way down, then that's telling you we might have another sell off too, right? On the another sell off in the daily, stuff like that. So on the 30 minutes, this is what we see comment section, um, resistance or supply zone. So you can mark this about supply, supply right here. All right, sorry guys, there we go. Supply zone, sell, short, and yeah, resistance zone. We got resistance here. Resistance, sell, short, and here we have a buy zone where you can place your buys. Buy zone, buy zone, volume cluster, or how that's a volume cluster to the upside. Volume to the upside. Or we can still put this as a demand zone, okay? This could also be a demand zone if you wanna point to the way if you put you know what demand supply is. This could be a demand zone because we have a consolidation and price shadow from there. So I want to see price come down here, mitigate this area, and I take my buys from there, maybe to the previous resistance, which is 156.82. Okay, so that's what I have for this pair right now. Market zones, trade zones. Now let's come to the big boss. I call the big boss the gold. Gold is the big boss. What do I have for gold? Well, the past 2 weeks consolidation, basically. I don't think a lot of people are seeing this, but we're consolidating between this area, 141, 33, and we're also having this as support right here. So if you trade volume profile, there's a lot to actually see on volume profile. If you trade volume profile, you'll actually be catching these moves on gold. A lot of people get smoked on gold, and I realized I have been trading other pairs using volume profile and demand and supply, and you don't make as much with those pairs. It takes a lot of time for them to even move, but gold moves in such a way that you are sure to make some profits even in a very short period of time too, and you can lose money in a very short period of time as well. But the whole point is that you have a higher chance making money on gold than any other pair, because other pairs should just be consolidating for almost 2 or 4 hours before the next move happens. You're just done. You're tired, right? But look at this volume profile. I just marked a zone here. I just marked the zone on the Japanese yen US dollar where I said a high volume cluster, right? So take a look at this. Look at this perfectly, okay? If I draw this right here, okay? Consolidation and a move up. Now I'll take you back to this zone here that I just drew with the US dollar Japanese yen. What do you see? The exact same thing, okay? It's the exact same thing here. Look at this. You see that? So if you see this now, I'm waiting for price to come down to this zone for me to buy. Two reasons. Volume cluster, I'll show you. Then we go back to gold. Okay, just want to make a small comparison here. Sorry guys, my mouse is acting up. A small comparison here. You see this. Okay, if I extend this, I zoom this out. What you see here is a volume cluster. We call it a volume cluster and a demand zone because there is consolidation and price shot above it, which means on the return on this note here, price will basically go up. Another note is still hitting here at 155.19. So if you're buying at 155.40 all the way to 19, you're still fine because price must probably go up, right? Now if you go back to the gold that I was just working on right now, you realize we have that same cluster right here. And what happened? Price came down, mitigated here at 1.4, that's 4,000, and went all the way back to 4,128, right? So this is this exact same thing that is located right now on the JPY US dollar. Exact same scenario. So all you got to do is wait, people. All you got to do is wait. Gold did the move already. This move was done on gold. So what am I going to say on gold right now? On gold right now, I just basically think we are in a consolidation zone. We are in between these two areas here, okay? Demand and resistance. So supply and resistance, supply and not supply, but support and resistance. But this actually is not support for me. This was a demand that got taken, it already got tested on gold. And now we have this resistance zone here. But price is still moving in a direction that is like just this here on gold and the whole week, right? The whole past 2 weeks. So basically, what you want to probably do is price breaking above this retest, good. But we have another supply zone on gold sitting in this area here, which I think if price returns to that area, you want to look for sales. Okay, so I'll put it on 4 hours. See if I get my view up around that areas. Let's see. Let's see where my view up is at on the 4 hour here. Um, I don't have view up set up on this gold analysis. I'm using perfect price analysis. I got view up somewhere on the 4 hour 461, which is where prices are right now. So that won't help. That won't help at all. But that being said, I think we have another resistance zone in this area here at 4187. Reason for that is my volume note tells me there is orders sitting here that if you buy or sell in this area, you have a high chance of it going your way. Okay, this area here is an area where price there's a high volume note. So basically, price fell, rose back, rejected, and fell again. So if you want to look at this price action analysis, you would say price broke this. There's a change of character here. I think they call it change of character. I just call it demand and supply, and I always treat demand and supply and all that. So if you look at this, there was a change of character, right? So price came down, fell, acted as support, came back, acted as support, couldn't make a higher high, and dropped below it, came back again, tried this high, it didn't work out, drop again, came to this area, and we tested this area, this resistance now, this support now term resistance, and fell from there. Telling me if price is to come over all the way back here, I will be confident taking a short in this area and have some pips down. All right, guys. So that's what I see for gold right now. Okay, that's what I see for gold. We have these zones marked up, and for my buy zones, I know very well if price is to go below 4,000, then we're looking at 3,500 ish. All right. So if price or 3,900 ish, if price to break below this zone on gold, then we should be going way deeper. But because we have this big cluster here, I don't see price going really further from here. It's a very big cluster here of orders, so we can have a little bit of a distribution here again. Then price drops, but it's going to be a tough one. Below here, gold will go down further. Okay, below 3,900, we're looking at gold going way further. So we should not break this cluster here. This cluster here should be a good support area for gold. Breaking below this support area could take us all the way down to maybe, let's see, in the 4 hour on gold here. I always just look at volume clusters. Yeah, this is dangerous game, right? So as I said, if you break below this, there's a high chance we can come all the way down here. High chance, 3,500, okay? There's a very high chance we can come all the way down here. That'll be a massive sell-off for gold. It's gonna be a massive sell-off. If you see this happening, just get the hell out. Don't if you're long, don't catch no longs. Wait for retracements and short. All right. So right now we are just in this cluster. I wouldn't call any of these zones demand zones or whatnot. I will not call anything here demand zone. The only demand I have or support is right here. All of this is just these are not institutions. These are not big guys. These are regular people just buying regular people buying gold, pumping the price up. But if you look at this, price has gone up so high, it is now rejecting coming down. Okay. So an area where you can look for buys will be at 3,500, 3,400. Price will get there. Mark my words. I'm not a prophet, but I'm just saying. Okay, because we have this consolidation here. It was for a very long time. We're talking April 25th all the way to August 25th. That's a long time before the takeoff happened, right? So this could be an area where the big guys, want to bring gold back to this area just to place the buys there and take it back up, right? So guys, mark the zones, and it's basically demand and supply, and also volume profile, which really helps. Right, which really helps. And as I pointed before, the same movement that happened here on gold that we had the retracement is the same move that already happened here on this pair right here on US dollar Japanese yen. So that hasn't happened yet on US dollar Japanese yen, but look at the volume cluster area, demand zone, price came down, bought from it. Price hasn't done that yet, but I'm hoping that price does. So I'm going to take my buys and take the upper areas. And for gold, it already happened. Price came on this to this area, and there was a buy, and it went back up. So picture perfect, guys. Gold is right now, as I said, playing in the consolidation area. If you look at the 5 minutes, we are still just consolidating between support So resistance and support. Okay. So support, mark this here. Support, right below. Expect demand, or I put or 3,500. Possible. All right. Very possible. And here we have resistance. Okay, this is resistance here. Above resistance, expect, sorry, expect supply at 4,800, I think. No, 4,187 ish. All right, so that's where I'll place for the 189. Yeah, 87 is good. So mark the zones, guys. This is what I see on this pair. Right now, we're just around VWAP. I still use some of the technical technical indicators, but still I look at what the price is telling me. Rejections tell me they don't want higher prices and all that, right? So price action tells me the whole story. So resistance is right here above the resistance, which is also a previous VWAP. If you look at this, this was a VWAP on November 25th. When you look at the VWAP break like this, you see this little thing here. It's a VWAP spot here. Okay, so price came to this VWAP and rejected from here, which means if you return there again, there might be another rejection. Another like, no, we're not going up from here. Okay, so let's watch price action for the coming sessions, guys. Leave me a thought and comment. I'm making this really quick today because I have some errands I need to run. I will try as much as I can to keep up with this videos analysis. So the best way you can support and encourage me to do this is to hit the like and subscribe button. Subscribe, like it, comment on it, and share it. That helps. All right, so we can keep doing this as much as we can, help out the community. And I'm working a lot of stuff all together with work and other stuff, and but I'm pretty sure that when I get my shit together, we are all going to have a good time with this analysis and all that. Okay, keep an eye out for my Telegram channel and my Discord, which is gonna come up very soon. I haven't had the time to set that up yet, but once I get that done, that's how I'm posting most of my trades that I take, so you can maybe learn from them. I don't want to be a signal person. I don't want to give you signals. Like I just tell you where my buys are, where my sales are. You can follow about it and see what happens. If it works for you, good. If it doesn't work for you, it's up to you. Okay. So that's all I gotta say today, guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment and I'll answer your questions as soon as I can. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye.